My greetings to one and all on the dais and off the dais. So, we are here to discuss one important issue that has been discussed so many times, the enhancing industry-academia collaboration in Indian education environment. So, we all have been talking about this. We all have been talking about the skill gaps and the gaps that are there. As per the industry, the demands are not fulfilled because the freshers passing out from the higher education system do not meet the skill set that the industry requires. But at the same time, we need to accept that the technological revolution is such that the technology is advancing at a very fast pace. So what happens is, by the time the education system adopts to the technology gets outdated. And moreover, you cannot write books now for those skilled, hands-on skilling that is required for the corporate industry, the technological skills or the advancements. Because, see, gone are the days when production used to take place, when people used to work over the machines and the machines used to deliver the products. But now, with the technological revolution, with AI inbuilt, people sit in a controlled environment and then they control those machines from there. And with the robotic revolutions, etc., I can speak a lot about it. So I will discuss the panel one by one from my left to just kindly introduce in one line, and then my first question will be that how do you look forward that Indian higher education system can cater to the industry needs? I will start from you, sir.
Good evening to all of you. Yeah, I think it's almost 3.
Yeah.
When we say about, sir is saying that how the industry, how we can fill up the gap which is expected by the industry, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Before going on to it,
just one line of introduction and then you can just speak for 2-3 minutes.
For introduction only. Before going into the industry things, let me tell you the government has taken few initiatives. Couple of years back or 3 to 4 years back, national education policy has come into existence, where they have said that the skills and ability enhancement programs is one of the mandatory or a required one. Then they had given a weightage to occasional training, on-the-job training, internship and so on. When they say skills and ability enhancement, skills can't be done in a 1 or 2 practicals. They need to undergo the industry training. Then the government has taken one more initiative. They are allowing a professor of practice, where a professional from the industry can become a faculty now. There are no such criteria that you should have those type of past experience. So these also help the industry to get into the educational institutions. And we have the stakeholders, students, parents, alumni, industry and so on. So everyone has a perceived quality and expectations from an institution or an university. And what you deliver it at the end of the day, by whether a student has perceived it or a industry or anyone. So that gap, he comes with an A expectation, he goes with an B expectation. And the gap which remains, that is where we are going to talk about it today as an industry expectations. So when we say about the industry expectations, I'll give you an example what we did in our university at ITM Skills University. For a management program 10 years back in ITM group, we thought about it, what do the industry expect? So the hundreds of CEOs were being met, and then they said that we can tell you that this is our requirement, but you need to meet the immediate user, that is the recruiter, those who are the frontliner, those who recruit for your fresh graduates or the experienced guys. And that is where the HRs, so we have the initial levels of HR, those who are there, those who are recruiting from the industry, are as a part of our board of studies members. then the general manager and the supervisor level as an academic council member. And governing body, we have the CEOs and so from the industry.
Sir, actually, my question was something else. I will like to adhere to the timelines, please. My question was actually, what do you think are the skill gaps that are there in the Indian graduate passing out and the industry requirements?
I would be not the right person because I am from a management institute. I am Pankaj Friye from Birla Institute of Management Technology. As far as your first, all right, I can
I will
pass.
come to you with some other question then.
Could you repeat the question, please?
I would like to know that what are the actual skill gaps that you think are there in the graduates passing out from the higher education and the industry requirements?
Yeah, so first I would like to start by introducing myself briefly. I am Syed Adnan Akhtar. I am the Executive Director for International Affairs at Integral Business School at Integral University. First of all, thank you very much for having me in this panel and sharing the stage with such stalwarts in education. So I think so first before I start, I want to throw in some numbers to put things in context. So if we see, India invests about 0.64% of its GDP in R&D, which is very less compared to 3.4% and 2.4% in US and China. So one of the major skill gap that I feel, I mean, I'm heading a business school, and what I daily experience, one thing that definitely is a skill gap are the soft skills and the interpersonal skills. And I happened to see some, curriculums in IIMs and all, and I saw a very, very nice courses in the curriculum on soft skill. One of them was written executive communication, for example. So, I mean, we are often on the other side of the table where we are required to hire people. And this is something we really feel lacks in many of the candidates we interview. So I think that is one thing that is very, very lacking.
Yeah, very true, because, gone are the days when you just had hard skills and you could survive in an industry. But now the industry engineer requires to communicate to the different departments, and they require soft skills along with the hard skills. This is actually essential, very nicely said. So I would come back to you. How do you think industry can help the higher education to fill up these gaps?
Hi. So again, thank you, the panel members and the audience and the ObserveNow team for inviting me to this panel. I'm Dr. Agarwal. I'm the Dean of the Badruka School of Management, a new upstarting school that was set up last year as an autonomous business school only. And I think one of the things that we are very focused on is preparing students for the new age workforce, okay? So for me, industry plays a very vital role. We have to be very closely connected to the industry because we have to understand their needs as we prepare our students. You've talked about soft skills. I totally agree. We need to prepare our students with essential skills that are soft communication skills or teamwork or collaboration and all that stuff. And I lost my thought here. What was your question?
My question was that how can industry help the higher education system, or the higher education system can collaborate
I
with
think we
to
really
fill up
need,
these skill gaps?
Yeah, so I think we have to do really strong partnerships with the industry. I think both parties have to play a role in this. We work closely. I like the idea of faculty members who are professors of practice coming to teach. They bring a lot of perspective. Of course, if you get funded research from industry, it helps a lot. Faculty sabbaticals to the industry. I have spent 20, 30 years in academia and 10 years in industry. I tell you, my 10 years in industry made me a better academician because I can bring a different perspective. There are the usual student mobility issues, internships, co-ops that have to be fostered, life projects, relevant, in the management school especially, our students are going to go and work for corporate India or corporate whatever. They have to be very, very closely associated to what the corporate needs are. So that gap of just giving theoretical knowledge in the classroom and the real needs of the industry have to be addressed. And I think the onus is on the education institutions to do that. And the onus is on the industry partners to open doors for us and to give us the opportunities to the faculty and the students to be exposed to those problems. There are many other things we can talk about, but in the interest of time, I'd like the other people on the panel to contribute.
Yes, very nicely said, because, you know, it's a long saying that a person from industry can be a good professor if things are liberalized for him, and professor in practice, this new norm really helps the industry people to come down to academia. I really go back to the time when I was a maintenance engineer, then came to teaching, and you know, it was very easy for me to teach things to the students, because once an engineer comes down and he has already seen, or whatever profession he is, then it becomes really easy to teach the students. And the other thing that the industry can do is that to fill in the gaps, I think they can allow the faculty internships. Let me put it like this, because student internships is very common to everybody. But if faculty internships are allowed, then the faculty can go to the industry platforms and they can actually learn the newer techniques, and the newer platforms can be visited by them. And they can actually see how the industry has advanced and what they are teaching in the classes. Then the curricula can be built according to the faculty's experience in the industry. Once he goes a 6 months internship in the industry, then he can develop a new curricula and then make the students to learn. I think that will be a better way of learning, where we can really disseminate the knowledge and we can actually make them industry ready. Even the industry, you know, requires people passing out from the colleges who are actually industry ready, so that they can save time and money on training of the graduates. So I'll come to...
Can I add one point here?
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the pertinent points I would like to address here is with respect to the reward mechanism. Currently, what happens is university rank number 1 or a state rank number 1 is not necessarily a person who is a doer, who is a person who is able to memorize things and reproduce in the exam. But what industry wants, or what life wants, or what career demands are doers. So if there can be a system where doers can be rewarded, it is not uncommon to find that in a classroom setup, a person who scores rank number 1 may not get the best placement. And a person who gets the best placement during the placement season alone, he comes to the limelight. During other times, he may not be even in the reckoning. So the reward system with respect to doers should be highlighted more than ranks and scores.
Yeah, I'll come back to you. So I just wanted to... Sir, please. I will come to you again in the second round.
I'll also
So, yeah,
need a minute from the moderator, if you
Yeah,
permit.
I
I
wanted...
have to add 3 points.
Yeah.
I am Professor P.K. Sharma. I am Sanskaram University Vice Chancellor. So there are 3 important points. Maybe all academicians are here. Friends, a doctor is going for the internship. That is mandatory. He is getting the skilled with the patients. He is coming out with that. Is it happening in our education system? If an industry GM comes, R&D GM comes to the academic institution, we are with the red carpet. We are thinking it, oh, he will make a change in that day. With it, same is happening whether with the academician in the industry. We are running academic institutions, the universities also. Everybody is sending the students for the internship. If you go for the accreditation bodies, I'm sorry, I'm taking 2 minutes more. If you're going for any accreditation body, whether it is NAC or NIRF, it is very, very mandatory that you are required to get the internship certificates. Are they real certificates? How many students are doing that? Please try to evaluate that. Every time we are discussing about this, as a theoretical subject, gap between academy and industry. Yes, it can happen if an industry will start preparing a center of excellence. If the industry will help us that all my faculty members or eminent scientists, they can go to the industry, because what my moderators are, my colleagues, they have told, experiential learning is the requirement. The person learns more. When sir was from industry, my honorable sir was from industry, they are saying it was very easy to teach. Why it was very easy to teach? Because they have already conducted that in the industry. So as per my ways goes, first and the foremost is, let us focus on the industry, let us make it compulsory for the industry also. You take 60 students, 10 students per month, there should be a center of excellence, the student should come up, there should be perfect evaluation, and there should be some rewarding policies. Because until unless we will not do this, we'll be theoretically discussing about this. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you. So I will come to you, sir. So my question will be that, see, now we are here, we are discussing about the gaps that are there in industry and academia. So is, a way out, like if we develop the curricula in, at a platform where industry and people from academia, they share a platform and then they redesign the curricula. And is that curricula going to help us to make industry-ready students?
Absolutely. This is the point where we need to focus now. And the turn of millennium has taken 24 years already. So we are not adolescent in the millennium now. And we have another 25 years to do what we call as for a Viksit Bharat. The co-designing of curriculum has to be done with the industry. And that is how there is provision in the Board of Studies and in the Academic Council to have the people from industry. And we should get the rich experience of our alumni and other people like-minded. Many of the universities, for that matter, are located in bigger cities, industrial areas, or close in the vicinity with good rapid transport system. So like if you see Noida, Greater Noida for that matter, or you go to Pune, Mumbai for that matter, or you go to Raipur, or any city for that matter, you will have lot of industries around. Now, academia can service two class of people. One is those who are freshers, who are coming through some entrance examination, who are coming for an undergraduate or a postgraduate program, say basically. And another set of people who are already in the industry. Either they are with a diploma or with a degree. And both the learners, of course, their mindset and requirement are different, but they want enhancement in learning. So I can tell you one example. I am Sandeep Chatterjee. I am Pro-Vice Chancellor in IILM University, the Knowledge Park 2, Greater Noida. Earlier I was at D.Y. Patil International University, Pune. I will give you one example. The Skoda car you must have seen, and Volkswagen, so they have unit in Pune and Aurangabad. But the car is from Czechoslovakia. And similarly, other automobile giants, they have put their vehicles in India. But those are designed in the context of their countries or their continents. Now, the things have to be designed in our context and our requirement, including the designing of the interiors. One big thing which comes to our mind is the EV, electric vehicle, so as to save environment and so that the emission norms are less. And also the vehicle with the battery, single charging, it goes long way. So we designed a program, MTech, Masters of Technology, in electric vehicle. And also BTech in electrical engineering and BTech for mechanical engineering. And I'll tell you that for young people who have taken admission, they got a program where they can study in our university as well as they can visit those industries. And also for the people, which is the category B, those who were working in those industries with a BTech degree in any discipline, particularly electronics, electrical, mechanical, etc. And they can do a MTech in electric vehicle. The curriculum was so designed and in thorough discussion with the industry, AICT, and the people and other likelihood where they can be engaged. So the program, the co-designing of program has to be emphasized nowadays because simple vanilla program may not be helpful. But certainly for the initial knowledge intake and developing the base and the foundation of the student, maybe for 2 semesters or 3 semesters or for half of the program, the focus has to be more in depth in terms of fundamental and applied knowledge through the academia and through the intelligentsia available. And some time, I will say 30% of the time or rather 40% of the time with the industry where they can practice. And in the industry engagement of the students, half of the day they are with the university and half of the day they are in the industry. Similarly, those people, the category B who are coming from industry, half of the day they work in the industry and afternoon after the lunch they come here. Similarly, the program can happen, and there are various other mechanisms. And out of that, as you said, the professor of practice, a lot of people emerge out of that process, and we get a lot of support. The e-rickshaws which you see in some cities like Noida and other places, including the change, the e-rickshaw has taken place in West Bengal, in Calcutta, which is fully automatic driven. Also, it can be cycle driven like that. And 2 batteries. So all those things and all those concepts, retaining the charge for longer time, single charging, long kilometers, etc., has come by the partnership process, that what should be the content, what should be the practical aspect, what should be the user interface, etc. So we'll come back again on this topic.
So my question to you will be that, see, we know that industry works on the latest cutting edge technologies. And see, why will industry come to the higher education? Like everybody is pointing out that they need to come in. What kind of environment do you think the Indian higher education should well to promote in this cutting edge technologies in research and innovation?
Yeah. Before I answer the question, my name is Santosh. I am the CEO of India Commonwealth Higher Education Council. Before this role, I've worked at various roles. I was with QS Rankings. I started my career at Google. So drawing in from all my experience with various companies, my answer would be a fundamental paradigm shift in terms of culture. Right? Having worked in the corporate and having been working in the higher education system, I see there's a huge culture shift. By culture shift, what I mean is the emphasis that is given for hierarchy and the emphasis that is given for things like continuous learning need to change. In a corporate, I'm not necessarily referring to something as simple as calling somebody a sir or madam, which does not exist in corporate, but it's rampantly followed in higher education. But the question of meritocracy gaining strength over years of experience is a fundamental requirement I see should be there. Because when corporates come here, they see that a lot of their value systems don't align with the Indian higher education system. It is met with a lot of stiffness. Like I see that a lot of universities still do send circulars while email is rampant. So this cultural shift has to open up. And irrespective of the age of a faculty or the tenure of a faculty, if the person is able to add value and deliver value, those people should be given prominence, because corporates look only at outcomes. They don't necessarily look at what is the age of a person. So these kind of cultural shifts, I believe, should start immediately. To start with, I believe if, like a few private universities are already doing, if we can start appointing vice chancellors in their early 40s, could be a great thing. Because very few universities have vice chancellors who are very young. I am not saying that vice chancellors with experience are not the need of the hour, but I'm only saying that there is a lot of potential in young people who have enough industry experience who can transform the shape of Indian higher education. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, because see, industry is dynamic in nature and education system is not. So it is high time that we realize that, the curricula has to be dynamic. The student has to select his topics, his subjects. Why can't a student of first year learn the subject which is being taught in third semester or fourth semester? When he is a self-driven guy, he can, excel. Why can't a bachelor's degree of 4 years be completed in 3 years? When we have every right to give a compartment to the student and say that, okay, you will have one next year and you will complete the course in 5th year because you were not able to clear it. If the guy is fast and he is meticulous and he is self-driven and he is preparing for his goals, or an industry driven student, he can complete the course in 3 years. Why don't we have faculty internships? We can easily manage the timetables and the faculty can teach his subjects in the morning and maybe go to the industry in the evening and learn about the latest techniques. It is just about some hard work and smart work to be coupled together so that, the education system actually thrives. Why the industry doesn't trust the education system? If you go and talk to any corporate CEO, he will say, okay, you are from academia, and like my friend on my left side pointed out, then you have all the red carpets there for an industry guy coming to your institute, but why this doesn't happen the other way around? When a professor goes to the industry, the industry people are saying, I'm really busy with the meeting, you kindly wait outside and let me see if I can give you some time. My biggest, question to the people from corporate is that you keep on saying that there is a lot of gap in skilling of the students passing out from the institutes who are not ready. What does the industry do for the education system? If they allow faculty internships, if they allow the faculty to come there and devise a curriculum in hand with the industry and learn the latest technologies and then teach in the classes, it will save time of both. It will save time of the students who are passing out, and they can also get good jobs because they will be in a position to face the industry on day one. And even the faculty will be in position to create a dynamic curriculum. What happens is in an institute, the curriculum is made once and it goes on for 2 years, 3 years, and then again the board of studies is there, all the syllabus is there, and the professors come, have a cup of tea and have a lunch together and then sign those documents and the syllabus is on. Let me tell you the hardcore reality how education system works. But this is not the way if you want to, really excel. You talk about Viksit Bharat in 2030. I don't know how we are going to reach there when we are not able to meet the industry needs, and our own industry says that your graduates are not ready. So this skill gap will always be there. But if few steps are taken, as this panel has posted out, that if the latest technologies are there or maybe center of excellences are developed by the industry in certain campuses, and why that campus can only enjoy that center of excellence. Let me tell you, if we devise a good system, all the institute students who are in and around 25 kilometers of that center of excellence should be able to access that center of excellence. Why not that child can come in the evening and then learn from that particular center? Why not few industry professionals come down to teach to the students in the university? And if suppose one university has taken a step, what happens is they boast it as the edge over the other universities. I think if we are ready to give back to the society, that particular lecture or that particular syllabus should be open to the other students also. Because if we talk about as a nation, then that education is right of every child, and we can devise certain systems where a government can play a certain important policy role, where those center of excellences being established by industry are open to all the education system in and around. Suppose Delhi University has certain center of excellence or maybe an incubation center or maybe an accelerator. Why it can't be open to the other students? So my last question to all of them, because I have just 2.5 minutes left from that side, just one liner from everybody. See, industry will collaborate with education only when it's a win-win situation for them also. What can we offer to the industry so that they come to the education? Just one line, sir, just 10 seconds each, 10 to 20 seconds.
So I'll take 2 lines. Where I left, that was the best practices which I was going to come to. Soft skills and stress management was one of the requirement. And the next one was internship. We used to have in management for 2 months or for a hotel management for 3 months. These were made 5 to 6 months. And for an hotel management, it was a weekend concurrent internship for 2 years every weekend. And sir, 1 minute, let me get. And all these internship has converted into a pre-placement offer, went up to 30% more than our usual one.
So my question was, what education institute can offer to the industry so that they come down to this, please?
So that is what we offer.
See, for example, at our institute, we do an on-job training. Every weekend, students go to some organization, do on-job training. The purpose is that they get exposed to the functioning of the organization, upgrade it to summer internship. They do summer internship over there, and then there is a chance that they will get a PP over there. The advantage is they have what we call job-ready students by the time they pass out. That is how the value we are trying to avoid to the industry. That's all.
My question is actually, see, we all are asking the industry should help us, to develop those curriculums, everything, to offer internships. What we can offer to the industry? I'm still not able to answer, get the sir, please, sir, we have just 40 seconds now.
First, of course, is the co-designing of curriculum, as you have pointed out. I think that is very important. The other thing is, I think more than us being private institutions, I think the government needs to pitch in and do something about it. So the R&D spend in industries in India is far less what the Western institutions are doing. So I think the government needs to come in. The other thing is that just yesterday, coincidentally, there was a Professor G.D. Yadav, Padan Shri, an adjunct professor in IT Delhi. We were having a similar panel discussion. And what he said was the government should increase the CSR from 2% to 3%. And
no, the question is pretty different, sir. Quickly, what education institute can do?
In fact, I won't take any time in even answering your question. I find it very ironic that we are talking about an industry-academia collaboration, and none of us are from industry. And we are just talking to each other and not a single person here represents industry. All are vice chancellors, pro-vice chancellors, promoters. You are not asking the audience any questions. No. So I find
we'll come to the
this is very ironic that we only listen to ourselves talking to other professors. Please, to the next person.
So now I think the time is over. So I will open this round to the audience to ask few questions as to what my question is still not answered. The last question. I will answer your question. Yes, sir, please. Yeah, please. I can really walk down to you.
What industry can do?
No. My question was that we all are saying that industry should help the education institutes. But what education institute will do for the industry to walk down to the...
Yes. I have a specific answer to your questions.
Yes, thank you.
Let me give a brief introduction. I am Professor Ramesh Bagla from MIT Business School. I have spent 35 years in industry and then came to academia 15 years back. So education institutions, business schools are very well aware of what is happening in the industry, what problems they are facing. So if educational institutions take the first initiative of approaching industry, that we have come to know you are facing this problem and we have the expertise with us. So we offer you the solution. We will send our faculty, our experts to your industry. They will work with you and they will come out with the solution. Accept it if you feel that it is going to help you. This is one way.
Thank you. Any other question? Yes.
Well, this is Professor Mishra from Delhi University. I think we are not very clear who should guide whom. Academia is the producer of all technocrats, all IAS officers, all professionals. Now you are asking that who should guide, son should guide father or father should guide son. You know, skill sets are different. Industry has different skill set. Academia has different skill set. Academia has a soft skill also, along with, hard skill. Whereas industry is having only hard skill, technical skill. So there is a scope of, give and take between the two. Academia should go to the industry because they are the man of field. Practically, they are doing something. Academia should learn from the industry that what kind of problems they are facing. And these people should come back to their parent institutions, to their teachers, that how can we be society-oriented, not market-oriented. Industry is becoming market-oriented demand oriented, not need oriented. Whatever is needed by the society. That is where academia can play a crucial role in guiding the industry rather than being guided by the industry. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. So due to positive term, we'll just, sorry, we can't take any more questions. Ma'am, I've been already advised by the organizers to wind it up. So
I have a
thank you. Please,
I want to,
you can talk.
to tell, I
Sir,
just want to tell that I have recognized institute and industry both. So how both industry and institute can do together?
Yes. Industry and institute can both, they can develop the curriculum together and they can train the faculty, and faculty can provide consultancy to the industry in part of research and innovation. This is what has been the finding of this panel, and I think both the industry and academia should collaborate together so that the student passing out become industry ready and they find a good life ahead of that. Because personally speaking, you know, it was earlier called as professional courses when we used to talk about medical or engineering. Now they are no longer called as professional courses. Why so? I think this is a question mark that I leave around to all of you, because are we really in a position to, you know, boast of that the student passing out from any institute in any higher education is industry fit? Except for IITs, why other professors are not able to provide consultancies to the industries? You know, it looks very nice that when people from academia defend themselves that who is guiding whom, but you know, the industry is behaving far ahead. The gadget, I have seen those times when you had just those phones when you used to ring up from your home and the person from the neighborhood used to come and say, your phone has come to our house. Then the small phone came out, that Moto Razr came out, then Ascotel was there, then Nokia 1100 was there. Now you have a gadget, you can explore anything. You cannot make a fool of a student teaching anything on the board. You know, gone are the days when the professors used to go to the class with any ill-prepared lecture and they used to deliver it in the class. It's very nice if we can clap for ourselves, but it's really a hard time for academia to come down with all those AI tools coming in, where a child can really explore those topics that you teach in the classes, and he can really advise you that this is something, you know, which is being followed by the industry right now, and you're teaching me something. I can give you the simplest example because, you know, it is very easy when this panel was discussed, and one of my persons who had 30 years of experience, he told nobody is from industry. So, sir, you are yourself from the industry. You had some experience, and
I am from academics.
Right now
I did get some industry experience. So my point is, you cannot.
Anyway,
we're talking a lot about industry-academia collaboration, but we never see anybody from the industry participating.
Yeah, there should have been one member at least from the industry. So I thank all the panel members who are here and who have, you know, spent the precious time out here in elaborating what industry collaboration can do. And I thank you all for being a patient listener. Thank you very much.